Welcome everyone to episode 112 of 1 Hour, 1 Decision, 1H1D. I am Chris.
And I am Tom.
And we take 60 minutes and play a random game on Xbox Game Pass and decide, do rabbits always get kicked out of their homes?
Or is it more like that their homes are where they are?
That's a fair point. Fair question. This episode, we're going to be talking about, and I hope I'm saying it right, Lapin by Studio Doodal. Or Doodal? I don't know. The studio name and the game name, I don't know how to say it properly. So
It's French. It's fine.
Sure, we'll go with that. Yeah, and this game didn't come out yet because it is in game preview on Xbox. So surprise, surprise, the surprise button gave us a game that's not a sequel, not a game that is current, but a game that's not out yet. So
it's the future.
We're playing a game in the future, folks. It's fancy. But this future game weighs in at 2.72 gigabytes on the PC. Tom, what about you?
Well, there's some kind of spatial distortion on the Xbox because it's 3.1 gigabytes there.
What is going on there, Lapin? I don't get it. Well, we won't know until they finally release a game. But this game, what kind of game is it?
I see I have a little couple of extra words than you do. I put a story-driven platformer.
That is good. That is good. I just put 2D platformer.
You are right. It is in
right.
2D and it is a platformer, but I think it's important to emphasize that this game has a plot.
Absolutely. You're right. And what's that game loop?
I have jump through levels and dodge brambles to plant seeds and advance the story.
Yeah. I just did jump around to progress to the next scene. So
yes, you're not wrong.
I'm not wrong, but I guess I might be missing a couple of things there because you're right. There are seeds that are there are seeds that are planted and friends along the way that you meet.
Yes.
So, but let's get into those likes, shall we?
Yes. I want to start by saying that I enjoy the hand-drawn, almost Disney-esque art style of this thing.
Yeah. It's funny. It's funny you said Disney. I don't know why. I had a more of like a Studio Ghibli feel.
Yeah. When I say Disney, I mean like classic Disney. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Yep, I could see that. I could see that for sure.
Certainly not modern Disney because that's all on computers.
CG. Yeah, all CG at this point. So yeah, I can see that, and it's true. I like that. I do like the art style. It was, I guess, a nice break for us because we've been going through a lot of like these 3D games and stuff like that. So
yeah, I think either we end up with either like the really 3D like new looking games or like the really retro like 8-bit or 16-bit style. Right. And this is neither of those things.
Yeah. It's a classic kind of game.
Yeah.
It is definitely a game that we'd probably be playing in our younger days. So in that way, I guess kind of like Echo or something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I think the touching on the visuals, I think they feel like kind of timeless, that you kind of touched on there. And I think the music adds to that as well. Like this game could kind of exist anywhere.
Right.
It's not like, oh, this is definitely a game from 2023. Like
right.
Could be.
You literally could place it in any generation, and it would probably fit right in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess minus like Nintendo, because they probably couldn't perform this quality of game. Yeah. So what else? What else did you like about this game?
I enjoyed, and I talk about this all the time, that it teaches me the buttons while I'm playing. Any game that does that, like just incorporate your tutorial into the game. I think it's the best way to do it. And I liked the like idle animations. I guess that goes into the art as well. Like if I took my hands off the controller, jot down a note or something, and then like looked back at the screen at the little bunny sleeping. It's cute, like it's something. It's doing something other than just standing there. Like they've accounted for it in a cute way. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. And I think you touched on this as well. I thought that the platforming got it got clever, and you did feel like when you completed a particular area that you're like, okay, cool, I got through that, and I felt like it did feel a sense of accomplishment, like you had mentioned as well. So
yes,
I
yes,
very good.
I definitely, when it's a game where the focus is so much on the platforming, that is the game here, right? Like so eloquently put it, jump around to progress to the next scene. I mean, that's what you're doing. So if that jumping doesn't feel good, or if it feels like you're not in control, or that when you fail, the game failed you, like that all is very distracting. But I think in this game, it always felt like it was my fault when I missed a jump, or I was like, no, let me do that again. Okay. And then when you do it and you succeed, you're like, all right, okay.
Yeah.
Like I earned that.
One thing actually I will mention now, as you're saying that I do appreciate, is that there was really no load time or anything in between your failures.
Yeah.
It was instant, like kind of like Ori. I think Ori did the same thing, where if you died, it was just like you pop you right back into the game, and you're going right at it. So I appreciated that. So you're not just shaking your fists too long at the screen or whatever. So that's good.
Yeah, it's true. The platforming sequences, like there isn't downtime. If you fail it, you're not like punished in any way. All carrot, no stick.
Exactly. That's good. That's good. Anything else you want to bring up about lakes here?
I did appreciate that it has some humor built into the dialogue. The parrot's name is Wow, a talking parrot, because that's what everyone said whenever it saw this thing. I just think that that's funny. Like, well done.
Talkie, though. Talkie he's like, you can call me Talkie.
Yeah, like instead of calling me Wow, a talking parrot, like you could just call me Talkie. But yeah, like that's great. I'm laughing thinking about it now. Like,
yeah, when I first read that, I was like, huh, okay. That's probably what it would think. It was its name.
Yeah. I mean, if everyone reacts to you the same way, it's like, it must be my name.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, awesome. So I think we're good with the.
Yes. I mean, it is a relatively simple game, which is a good thing and also a bad thing. So I think it's probably time to talk about some of them bad things.
Yeah. Yeah. Why the hell do rabbits have human items? Like the first level, you have your own bed, you have like a computer, you had weapons. I was like, how do they use them? What is going on in this place? And that's where I thought this was like, was this story going to be like dark dystopian thing where these rabbits were pets of certain humans, and these humans died? And I was like, what's going on? Where's the dark undertone? When am I going to figure that out in this? But it didn't happen. It was just their stuff. There's just like super smart rabbit. What was it, Mont Blanc, I think? Or he was just like he was a curmudgeon, but he was like building everything for them. And you saw him welding something, and I was like, okay, but why am I not allowed to weld things? Like, what's going on here? There's a whole rabbit society, underground rabbit society that you're part of.
And like when the people are bulldozing all that over, do they not find all this?
Yeah. They're like, wait, what's with all these paintings and
all these stuff? rabbit-sized desks and rabbit-sized.
But that's the other thing. The desks weren't rabbit-sized. They were bigger than the rabbits.
Yeah, you're right.
So it was a little confusing. to me.
It's jarring. It makes it. It's like, oh, they were living in a human space. It looked like they were living in a converted human space,
Right.
but then that doesn't make any sense because it's underground in a rabbit burrow.
Yeah, exactly. And they're getting kicked out by the humans, which you said was pretty sad.
Yes,
But it's true.
It's in my dislikes. Humans are awful.
Yeah.
And that makes the opening of this game sad because it's all about. It's pretty drawn out, and it's all just about how awful people are and how they're going to, demolish this house that everybody lives in. It's like, and they've got to leave or be buried under rubble, I guess.
Yeah. I want to say while the platforming was pretty good, I just felt like is there more to this game? Because there wasn't really any enemies that you're attacking. You're just literally trying to get to the next stage, and like your greatest enemy really are the brambles that can kill you, and like that's it.
Your greatest enemy is yourself.
Right, I guess so. Yeah. So I was just like, okay, is there anything more into this game? I'm not saying that the platforming does get challenging. I mean, I definitely got stuck at one point, but now that I'm thinking about it, also some of the way that the stages are laid out, it seemed a little weird because there were some levels where or areas where you're like, you would think if you drop down you would just go to the stage below it or whatnot, but then sometimes and then when you drop down you die. I'm like, so it was a bit confusing with that. And I thought, I mean, to your point about the idle animation was kind of cute, which is true. I thought that sometimes some of the other animations were just not there. I felt like some of the jumping animation, something like that, just felt a little static. Especially with the world, like the way that the characters move overall, it just felt a little weird. I get it. I mean, I'm bashing on a game that's still in game preview, so I'm sure that they're probably going to go and fix up a lot of the animation stuff, which is fine. But the current state that we played it in, I'm sorry, the Xbox Game Pass surprise button made us play this game at this point. So that's what I'm telling you.
It's fair. I agree with the game preview. I noticed there was like no settings. And in the settings menu, it said like not available because it's in game preview. And I was like, okay, at least they acknowledged that these are pretty sparse over here, and that I guess they'll add more stuff later. But you can't adjust your controls. You can't really adjust anything. I guess maybe the volume of the different level of volume or something was there, but that was like it.
Yeah, very simple options for sure.
Yeah, and I didn't see a way in there to save. So I guess it was auto saving. I tested it, in my hours up by going back, and it remembered where I was. So that's good.
Okay. Yeah.
But like, I don't recall the game ever being like, this is when we're saving, kind of thing, which again, may be part of the game preview thing, but I like to be able to save the game when I want to save the game. So all developers, everyone listening.
Yes.
Allow me to save my game.
That's true. They didn't even give you the like an indicator like this. There's the autosave option is going to be there or not. So like, sometimes I'll have a little icon that says like, when you see this icon, it's going to autosave. So, So the other thing I was a little confused about is, who is this game for? Like, what's the age range that this is going for?
Yeah, because it does have kind of like a heavy, sad plot, right? So it's not for like little kids, but it's also like there's not really much of a challenge, or at least, like you said, there's no enemies. It's not like ultra violent or anything. So it's like,
I can almost see this game being like a mobile game than a full on like Xbox game. That's the only thing I can think, because like, unless there's supposed to be more stuff that, again, we only played the first hour, but unless there's more to it in terms of what happens, because you literally have two abilities, right? I mean, three really. One is to move around left to right, up and down, and to jump, and then the other is to like stick to walls.
Yeah.
So, um, unless they add another ability later on, like I guess that's what you got to work with for the rest of the game. So I don't know how far that combination can go, the distance. So,
Right. Well, they can add elements to the platforming. Like,
yeah,
they had things that swung back and forth. They had things
right.
that you step on that then drop away. Like,
Yeah,
they could do that kind of stuff. Like,
right. Obviously, the brambles are there that can get in the way and stuff like that. But and then the jump pads, they had jump pads. So, yeah. So I don't know.
that might be their solution. We don't know.
Yeah.
Perhaps
In the first hour, I mean, to me, it felt like that. If this is what the rest of the game is, I don't see there being that much longevity in the game, other than that, other than the story. So,
yeah.
you know,
And I want to point out, so this is a good segue. Like, there are a lot of side areas in this. So the plot is driving you more or less to the right. You start on the left side of the screen and you need to move to the right side of the screen.
yeah.
And that's the plot of the game, is keep moving right, like a Mario Brothers game.
Yeah.
But in this, there's a lot of like, you go up and you go across, and then you can go plant a seed over there, and you have to do like a puzzle to plant the seed. And then when you plant the seed, you get like a little, like saying or a message or whatever. But it's not like you pick up an item. It's not like you're not accomplishing anything with these little side diversions. And there are a lot of them. And I'm the kind of person that like needs to go check all of these side passages and things. And so it's like, it's kind of painful to be constantly not rewarded for this. Whereas, when we were playing other games and I go off, it's like, oh, I found a potion over there, or I found some currency or something that I could use later. Yeah. I'm not finding anything that I can use later here. So it ends up just feeling like, I accomplished that thing. I might pat myself on the back because that's all I got out of it.
You planted a flower. Good job. There is one thing though. You can pick up gifts for some of your characters. I don't know if you did that.
Yes. You're right. Okay.
So you could do that, but I don't know what that does other than like, here you go. It's like, oh, thank you. Because like, I also think the other thing I notice is when you're having conversations with certain, or with all the characters, there's like animations that happen, like hearts that like are you building relationships with these other characters? I don't know. There was a lot of confusion for me about that. Like, does that help me later on because I'm building this relationship with said person, animal? So,
yeah, I guess again, not explained really. You can pick stuff up, and I guess if you're in the right conversation tree, you can give it to them, but perhaps with more polish.
Yeah. Any other thoughts for you there, Tom?
So I just want to like really hammer this down because I think it's really important. Is like, the platforming to me was the best part of this game, but it all felt very optional. So it's like you've sculpted a game where it's like, this is the game, but you don't actually have to play the game. You can just kind of walk to the right, talk to some guys, and move the plot along.
Right.
I don't know. I didn't feel like there was any challenge to the actual game. Like the moving right across the screen seemed like I could almost hold down right on the D-pad and just kind of beat the game.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a hyperbole, but basically.
Yeah. I don't know. It's the only other thing I could say is how long to beat. Apparently, this game can be beaten, and it takes about 5 hours to beat.
I wonder if it takes 5 hours to go plant all those seeds, or 5 hours if you just press right on the D-pad.
Keeps going right. Just go right. I don't know. That's a great question. But I don't know if this game has Xbox Play Anywhere or any of that stuff. In fact, let me just confirm that right now. It does. Well, it has Xbox presence. I don't know, like if your saves transfer over. Again, this game is in game preview, so
blame the surprise me button.
Blame the surprise me button for this one, folks. I'm sorry, but now we got to get to our final thoughts, here, Tom.
Yes.
Are we gonna keep this game on our respective hard drives, or are we gonna be like Lenny from Mice and Men and break his neck out back? I don't know.
It's terrible.
But before we get to that, we wanted to let you know about our spectacular sponsor, Winner Winner. Winner Winner is a live arcade claw machine game available on Android and iOS, and it's 100% skill-based. Trust me, if you see me play my games, you know I'm not that great, and I still have won games on my first try. There's hundreds of prizes, even featuring gaming merch from Nintendo. Pick your prize from choices in your particular game, or bank your earnings with tickets to redeem any other prize you want from their wide selection. And for all you lovely people listening or watching our show, you can get bonus tokens on your first app token purchase. Download and create your account, then use the link in the episode's description to enter promo code WHATITDO after you sign in. Check it out. It's clawsome.
So I want to see what kind of rabbit this little bunny turns into. I'm curious to hear what the features end up being for the final version of this game. Because I really, if it's just 5 hours, that's not bad. That sounds good. And I could see myself coming back to this if I had a better idea of like what the whole game is. Because I'm with you right now. If it's just another 4 hours of what I did, I'm not too crazy about it. But if I found out that there was more going on later in the game, and that there are other move sets, other things, like added difficulty, whatever you want to call it, like that might be enough for me to come back to this, because I think it looks really good, and I think it feels good playing it. But I don't know. I need more carrots. I need more rewards for playing carrots. Give me more carrots.
Oh man, that's true. But for me, it's a neat little game. But I got to be honest. By the end of it, I was getting pretty bored with it, and because I don't think I'm going to keep playing this game. Maybe to your point, maybe when it finally gets out of game preview, I might give it another shot. But like as of right now, from what I've played, I'm like, all right, I think I got it, and I think I'm good.
Yeah, so. I'm with you. I need to be enticed to come back to this. And like I said, I think a final release of this game, a feature complete version of this game, would be the thing that would get me to come back.
Cool. So those are our thoughts. Let us know what you think of this game. Follow us and say hello on Twitter at TC1H1D, or shoot us an email at TC1H1D@outlook.com. Check out our next streams on Twitch at twitch.tv/1H1D. And if you're watching this on YouTube, send us a comment down below and we'll try to give you a response back. But Tom, as most of you should know, 1H1D is part of that QTV network. And if you like gaming podcasts and other cool content, check out Quit the Build. And there are other cool stuff out there at quitthebuild.com/network. Yeah. So, Tom, we actually have a request for our next game. Yeah. And in fact,
is it a fully baked game?
It is a fully baked. Well, we'll see. It is a fully baked game and requested by Twitter follower Revival and Extinction. The game is Gungrave Gore. Gungrave Gore. So we're going to be checking that out and letting you guys know what we think about it. And as always, thank you so much for everyone for tuning in. We will catch you.
Thanks, everybody.